So Casper, we're live now. So yeah, as mentioned, let's just continue talking like we
Yeah.
were doing. So just a bit intro about yourself. What's your name? What got you into league, and where are you studying?
Okay. My name's Casper. I
Mhm.
also known as Aliplane in game. 21 years old. I started playing League of Legends like 8 years ago, and I started playing competitively like 3 years ago. And yeah, now I'm studying at Ball State in Indiana because of it. So it's pretty amazing what it got me so far.
Amazing, man. And um, we're talking about a bit about it just before this recording, but like, what made you study? Like I know everyone has their own timings in life, and it's never too late.
Yeah.
But what got you studying after? Like in your 20s.
Um, yeah, so I think like I've always wanted to go to college,
Hmm.
but never really got any motivation to. I think like in the Netherlands, it's way different than it is in America. Like the American experience is just, in general, it's just way cooler than it is in the Netherlands. Well, that's my opinion at least. Being on campus and like doing everything here and being with friends all the time. I really enjoy that. Um, and yeah, I I really wanted to get something going for me, like maybe studying, maybe find a job, maybe start my own business. And I think the opportunity that this has given me, like it opens up a lot of things for me, like getting a degree in something or um, like getting something in the esports scene as well. I think this opens up a lot of opportunities for me, and I think that's mainly what got me interested in the first place.
Okay, interesting. And one of the things that stuck out when we first started talking, when we started the process, was why sign language? Is it something? It's very niche,
Yeah,
and
it
there's
is.
always a reason behind. When people do a degree like this.
Um, so at the moment, I really was looking at this in the start for like a major in sign language, and I
Hmm.
found something in education, but it didn't really suit me, I think. So now I'm still doing a minor in sign language, American Sign Language.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not sure what it got me interested in the first place, I think. It's just I wanted to do something very unique and not a lot of people do this. So um, yeah, and I don't know, I think like what my parents always said, like I'm playing the piano too a lot and well,
Hmm.
playing games and it's all got to do with your hands. So maybe that's something that's got to do with it, but I'm not sure. I just
Yeah.
wanted to do something really unique, and I feel like this suits me, and I really enjoy sign language so far.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, finding you the right esport program that had also sign language
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
was was a
This
thing,
is
but like,
amazing.
yeah, at least now you're there, and it's amazing. And when you arrived, like, so like now you're in your first semester. So what made you also like choose psychology? Because like at the beginning when we started the process, like it wasn't something that you had in the table. Maybe it was in your mind, but you didn't communicate it. So what made you start psychology when you got it on
Um,
campus?
so in the first week, maybe the first 2 weeks, I did a um, major in education, um, and well, I found out that it didn't really suit me, and I went to the international advisors for like choosing your major and all such of things. And they really helped me, like exploring like what do I like and what suits with my preferences. And they came up with a couple of things. Psychology was one of them. Um, And I think it's mainly because I really like teaching people, but not in front of a classroom. So psychology is maybe like a way to be close to someone and teach someone up close instead of in front of a classroom. For sure, you can be a teacher with psychology as well, but
Mhm.
I don't really want that. I'd like to teach people up close.
What do you say you would like when you graduate from your psychology? Would you go into clinical psychology?
Well, yeah,
It's very far, but
also,
like, yeah.
yeah, like everyone always says that if you're doing psychology, you need to do a master as well because that's like most of the jobs with it. And I think the being a therapist or something, I think I could really see myself doing that, but that's yeah, that's really far away. And
Yeah,
I just wanna think about the stuff that I'm going through right now instead of like worrying about
yeah,
something in
step by
six,
step.
7 years. Yeah.
For sure. For sure. And the good thing is like even like it's your first semester, so usually like you can do up to 1 year or 2 years of elective courses, and
Yeah.
still explore what you really want to study. So you don't have to even decide if it's psychology,
Yeah. True.
your first semester. So that's also a great thing, that colleges have there in the US. So amazing. And what about the esports program? How did you find
Um,
the esports program there in Ball State?
I think I think it's quite nice. Um, like they have an esports lab here, and
Mhm.
it's really nice. They all have like high tech stuff and the newest graphics cards and whatever. Um,
Mhm.
and most people they have a setup at home, so they actually play from home. I'm
Mhm.
like one of the only players at league team that uh, plays in the lab. But like when we have a match, the people are obligated to play at the lab. I think that's really nice. Like to
Mhm.
play with 5 people next to each other. I really enjoy that, like being with your friends and stuff. And like we are practicing once a week or twice a week, and we have three matches a week.
Mhm.
So I really enjoy that too. I would love to put uh, for them to put a little bit more of effort in, but yeah, I can't make them do. But I really
Yeah,
enjoy it so far.
you have to set up the culture. And now, like
Yeah,
next semester, probably Seno's gonna go there, to coach. So two internationals in the league team. It's gonna
yeah.
get more exciting.
I hope everybody's gonna put in. Yeah, that's I think something that we're really missing right now. We don't really have a coach, so like one of our players is a coach, so everybody doesn't really take him seriously enough because he's just a player and not really
Mhm.
like higher authority, I would say. And I think a
Yeah.
coach needs to be.
Mhm. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And from when we are doing the process, what was your decisive factor of why did you choose uh, Ball State when from your other offers?
Um, yeah, I think it's mainly because of the ASL, like the minor
Mhm.
ASL or major even they were offering.
Mhm.
And yeah, it really got me even more obsessed with that language than I already was. Um, and I think like Ball State, to be honest, it is a little bit expensive. Um, but when I was talking about this with my parents, we were both like instantly like, Ball State, this is it. I think like this is what I've been looking for in a college. And yeah, I instantly knew that this would be the one. But yeah, it was a little bit, I was hesitant about, yeah, it costs a lot of money. So, but I really enjoy Ball State. It's an amazing campus. It's really big as well. I don't really have anything to compare to, but people always telling me on this campus, like, Ball State is a real college. Like compared to some other colleges, they are more maybe even more focused on esports. They can get you a bigger scholarship, but Ball State offers you like the real American college experience, and I
The
think
campus American experience, yeah,
yeah, that's
it's a
really nice.
D1 school, it's a big campus. And what have you done so far in terms of like other activities that you can talk about in because we're live, okay? So
I know. Yeah, I think it's mainly just being with friends all the time. I really enjoy that. I don't have to go clubbing or whatever. I think being with the people you enjoy spending time with is already enough for me. And like I'm hanging out with other people a lot. I watching movies, go to the movies, um, get dinner somewhere outside of campus. Um, yeah, that's something I really enjoy doing lately.
amazing, amazing. And regarding like you told me that now you wanna, like you always wanted to study abroad, but like can you tell me a bit about like you as a player in EU? Like how was your experience as a player, and like what got you to make the decision to like study and compete in NA?
Um, well, I think Europe is way more competitive in
Hmm.
the game that I'm playing, League of Legends. Um, and I think it taught me a lot more discipline. Like people in NA, they are way lazier than European people are, to be honest. And I think it kind of feels like I've been playing with weights on for the last 7 years on, and I'm moving to NA, and now it feels like I've loosened up on all those weights and finally can show how good I've become in EU, because I think
Hmm.
EU is better than NA is.
Yeah. Is the weight thing because every split you may be thinking about like what team am I going to go to, and here's like a 4 year journey, or is it because the practice schedule and the demands are less right now in the collegiate that they were when you were competing
Yeah.
in EU?
Well, right now I'm competing in like a college competition, so
Hmm.
the skill difference is going to be all over the place because yeah, some colleges they have like a top 1% player and then a top 50% player in the same team. It's really crazy. So that's really different than if you would be playing with like a semi-pro,
Hmm.
just in your part time. Um, but I think it's mainly about there are a lot more players and a lot more good players in EU. So you're always
Hmm.
gonna be competing with more people over there than here. So right now I'm just chilling a bit and trying to show off because I
Hmm.
can here. Um, and I didn't really get that opportunity in EU. That's like mainly what I was referring to with the weights.
Yeah, it kind of happened similar to me with tennis. So like I was, like competing in Spain, and I did play some features around Europe, but like I never got to like, more than that. And
Yeah.
then when I went to the States, like I had more of an audience. They give you more like stuff, like a better infrastructure, more merch, more facilities. They pay for way more stuff. So like I was like, it was like, like all the resources that they have
Yeah.
in colleges.
It's
It's a huge difference.
exactly like that with
Yeah.
esports as well.
Hmm. No, that's amazing. That's amazing. And another question that I wanted to ask you, okay, is if you had to give some like one advice to someone that is thinking of making the move to an A, what would it be?
Like going to college in NA
Yeah,
or
college and competing in esports.
mm, I think you really well that's what helped me at least.
Yeah, of course.
So I was playing with the team a couple of times
Hmm.
in EU. So I already knew the people. I think that's really important because if you're arriving here and you don't know anybody,
Hmm.
then first of all, I think it's gonna be a little bit scary because yeah, you don't know anyone and you don't know what you're getting into. And I think that's really important. Um, because I knew the people were quite good at the team and I could see myself playing amongst those guys and um, yeah, really see them as my friends too, because they are. And I think that's important in a team that you have good synergy between the guys. Um, so if you're thinking about it, you should definitely get to know the people first, because if you don't, it's gonna be a rough time.
Do you think that making friends is hard even if you are part of a team or of a program itself?
Mm, well, of course, if you're part of the esports program, for example, um, you're gonna be forced to spend a lot of time with those guys. So if you guys have like the same personality and stuff, of course you're gonna be friends uh, along the way. But I think finding people that you enjoy spending time with is important too. So it's not a coin flip if you like them or not,
Okay.
and you can
Okay.
choose the people. I think that's really nice.
Yeah. So you mentioned about like personalities. Let's get a bit more in like the cultural differences. What is like things that were like surprised you, like or shocked you, or when
Yeah.
you arrived?
Um, so I play with two Korean guys on the team and two
Hmm.
American ones, and I always thought that Americans people were gonna be very blunt and very kind of rude. Just they are like mainly focused on their own stuff and not really doing stuff with other guys. Um, but it's like really the other way around. I think
Hmm.
American people are really nice and they are always really friendly. Maybe that's because I'm an international one, but um, that's something that I'm not really sure of. But um, yeah, and the Korean guys, they are a little bit more introverted and like I really enjoy spending time with the American guys because they are just so friendly and yeah, they actually thought that I was being the one that's really blunt and direct and like I'm really not like that in well compared to people from the Netherlands, like they are way more blunt and direct and um impolite. Yeah. Um yeah, but that's something that's really weird to me because compared to people in the Netherlands and people in America,
Yeah.
I'm way different for other people.
Yeah, I mean that's also the beauty, of like going to a campus and like you have like students from all over the world, so you get to, like it's the degree and esports is super important, but also like what you learned from different cultures and people
Yeah,
throughout your 4 years. That's also going to shape you a lot. I still have friends from all around the world that I go visit, and I graduated 14 years ago. So like,
yeah, that's
I
really nice.
mean, you're gonna have those connections, man. And yeah, it it's an amazing experience. Yeah. And regarding like the traveling and throughout the year with the team, are you gonna
Um,
get that experience a lot?
I think, uh, yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it's a little bit of how we compete too. If we win a lot, I think we are able to travel more
Mhm.
and compete at other universities and go to LAN events. Um, but yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with the offline events and if we are going to travel a lot. Well, I'm going to travel probably, I'm going to go snowboarding in 2 days with someone else from the team. So that's really
Okay.
nice.
Okay. In the
Um,
state of Indiana or like
yeah,
out of
it's,
state?
yeah, no. It's in Indiana, but I think it's quite a small place, but we are just going for one day. I think it's hour and a half drive from here.
Hmm.
Um, but it will be very fun.
Yeah, I remember like I was in the season, in the same season, which is from August to December. So I
Yeah.
was like in November, and I tried, like to do like I went to a snow park and I really got injured and I couldn't even
Oh,
move my leg. And the next week we had to play, and honestly, like I had to take I don't know, like 3 ibuprofens, and I kind of made the match, and I was
yeah,
like, really, so like be careful
yeah,
when you go snowboarding, because like when you're a student athlete, you have to also think about that, like what could happen and stuff. But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's gonna happen. But that was a interesting experience that happened. Like, what didn't happen to me studying abroad?
yeah.
But yeah, and what is like one objective that you want to accomplish? It can be like academically, competitively, or personal. But what is one objective that you want to achieve this year?
Mm, so I think um, I think I really wanna uh, show myself in the matches. Like right now, we don't have a lot of um, resistance from other teams because we haven't really played against good teams so far. But as we go on and get to the playoffs and compete in the international competition,
Mhm.
there's going to be way more resistance, and I think I- I'm just hoping that I can show myself in those matches as well. So maybe I'm getting recognized by maybe even semi-professional teams. I think that would be really nice to be able to show myself in those matches, and that's some of the motivation that I got for like being here every day and trying to improve as much as I can.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I think I really wanna show myself in those in the competition. Like we don't even have to win, but me as a player, I would like really want to prove myself. So I
Yeah.
really stand out.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to like after college or between college, would you want to, take your competitive level to maybe, potentially go pro, or are you just using
Um,
your competitive experience
well,
as a tool to find to studies? Like,
yeah,
what are your objectives?
that's that's an interesting question because in my opinion, well, at least from my experience, going pro or it's not really a choice. It's more
Hmm.
it's an opportunity that um, can be given to you by some people, and I just try my best along the way and
Hmm.
um, try to do everything I can. But if the opportunity is not there, then yeah, I accept it as the way it is. And you shouldn't be chasing, like, of course, you should be chasing your dreams, but they gotta be realistic. If they are not realistic, then yeah, then it's really a waste of your time, in my opinion.
Hmm. Yeah. Why? What is being realistic with you?
Um, yeah, I I think like right now I'm well, even in a month, I got like
Hmm.
into the top 100 of the entire country for like the
Amazing.
League of Legends players.
Yeah.
Um, so I just wanna like try my best and maybe even get top 50, top 30. Just try to get as high as I can. And if people start seeing me and saying like, "Oh, I recognized him from the games I've played with and against him," and if
Hmm.
like the opportunity is there, if someone want to scout me for, I don't know, like a academy team, then I really would go for the opportunity. But if it's not there, I just accept it and see see it as the way it is. It's I just want to be realistic that I'm not being delusional about chasing a dream that wasn't meant for me. Um,
Okay. Okay. Interesting. And let me tell you, I tell this when I come to our students, and for now, not one did it, but like, man, if you create content about your experience in any negotiation scene as a Dutch, player, that's gonna also open a lot of doors to you, you know.
Yeah.
If and like if you manage to like schedule the time to start looking into it, and just creating content live, like, there's a lot of people that can connect with you, and also showing the scene. I think that can also attract like a big
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. Like creating content is another big way of um, exposure. And like, if I'm not able to um, stand out and show myself in those competitive matches, like
Mhm.
content is really a good other way to do that as well. Like
Okay,
creating exposure for yourself.
I will leave it up in the air
Yeah.
for you to consider. Yeah. So, Hasper, before we wrap up, like, is there anything that you would like to add that I haven't mentioned?
Mm, well, okay. So at the start of,
Yeah.
well, of course, like I'm kind of an introvert, so
Yeah.
going on flying or taking the plane alone to the other side of the world, it really has been a big step. Um, but I think it really um, improved me as a person. Like I would never think that I was able to do that. Take the plane alone. I've even taken 3 planes. It was like a disastrous travel experience for me, but um, yeah, it really improved me as a person. And I think if you're thinking about it and maybe hesitating because you're scared, just do it. It's like
Yeah.
don't let the fear stop you.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was doing like all the process to study in the States, uh, like I wasn't actually conscious that I was going to the States,
Yeah,
like
I,
idea.
I know what
But
you
when
mean.
I passed security airport and I saw my parents from behind, I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
I recognize
Oh
that.
my God. And then the
Yeah,
panic, just came on. I was like, okay, just do it. And yeah, that was
yeah.
cool and an experience. And
I
then
I
like I
really
also
recognize that.
remember that I fell asleep in one of the like one of the connections, and I had a lot of in 4 years going back and forward. I had a lot of stories. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really recognize that. Yeah. It's like all of a sudden from doing something with your parents that you completely have to do it like on your own. And I mean, if you just follow the crowd a little bit and like if you don't understand, just go ask someone and they can help you. Like when I was in Chicago, it was really I didn't even know where to go. I thought my suitcases was gonna be in Chicago, and like they went all the way at once, so I could get my suitcases in Indianapolis. But I didn't know that. I thought I had to pick them up in Chicago already.
Yeah.
So I was like asking 4 different people, "Yo, what am I supposed to do now?" And yeah,
To keep
but
it safe, okay, always get the same flights and connections, okay, so you don't have to think like you do it once, okay, you have
yeah.
but then
Yeah, but yeah,
okay.
it was that way. But my parents told me that I needed to get my bags and stuff in Chicago, but apparently it wasn't like that.
Yeah. Dude, Hasper, like I really appreciate the time you took, okay, to have this call. I hope like parents or international students or domestic students like that watch this talk can feel identified with you, and can make
Yeah,
that step of going to higher education and competing in esports, because like you utilizing your talent to get a degree is like, I think, one of the best things that you can do, especially at your age. Have a backup plan, and with whatever you do, and like all this, I mean, in college now you have a safe space to develop in whatever skills you want to do. and they will support you, okay, both academically, competitively. So like take, that opportunity. And I mean, you're in an amazing space here in Ball
Yeah.
State, and
Yeah.
whatever you want to do, they'll help you do it. So it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm also going to leave for the community the form here. Okay, if you want to have a call with us, to basically evaluate your options. Okay, like fill out the form, and we'll get back to you and schedule a call, just like Casper did long ago. But yeah, Casper, thank you so much, man, and have a great day. And yeah, let's stay in
Yeah.
touch. And soon we'll have another talk. Maybe
Sure.
next semester
Hey,
or next year. Okay, man.
thank you for having me.